Hello friends, welcome back to AutoCAD Easy. Now, today we're just gonna quickly dive into sectioning again, and I have quite a number of exercises um, that I would like to do. So I'm just gonna quickly randomly pick these exercises, and then we're gonna go on to the next ones. Okay, I'm not gonna do all of them, but I'm just gonna randomly pick. Some of them are more similar, and you're gonna see as we go. So let's quickly get to it. Okay, we're gonna start with this one. All right. Now with this one, we could see this thing is like a ring that goes into there, and over here, this thing is the edge to that. So we're gonna start with the sectioning that goes along the y-axis. Okay. All right. So on the y-axis, we're having such section where we must cut in the middle of it. Now let's go and do that. Now if we split it open, notice now we are leaving out this ring in the middle, okay? Meaning that the cut will come and touch over there, and also we split this guy open. Now let's quickly change this guy and that guy to be a solid line. Now notice one edge is equal to this one, so meaning we won't have the other edge. Okay. Now before I remove all that edge, indeed the cutting plane will go like this, but it'll cut from there, meaning that this guy was actually supposed to be removed from here and there. Okay, now meaning that for that one the cutting plane will be over here. Okay, because we cut the circle and the guy right here, all of them, and over here now it's one thing, meaning that now the cutting plane must also continue on the inside, right? Meaning we no longer have this face in there. Okay, just like that. Okay, now for the one in the y-axis is done. Now for the one in the x-axis, meaning that we're removing each and everything there at the top. Now this one, notice we're gonna need hatching lines. We're gonna need construction lines, of which let me just switch on my construction lines. Now it came and touched there. Remember, auto mode always. Now I'm just going to project my construction lines. Now notice this is where the cut ends, okay? Meaning that these two guys are our hidden detail for the section inside. Since we don't show hidden details, we might move. Now, since this face now it's gonna start on that, meaning that we no longer have this face, okay? Now meaning that this guy and this guy must be a what? Must be a line type 1. Now meaning that if we open in here, meaning that again this guy will be a line type 1. Now if we're having that guy's line type 1, notice that now we're gonna come and delete this, come and delete that, and that, and remove this guy. Now meaning that the edge will go right through there, and also this little part there. And for that one we're done. Okay, now we can move on to the next one. The next one that follows Now we can start with any, but I'm gonna start with the one in the x-axis. Now, the one in the x-axis says that we must cut this guy in the middle, okay? Now over here, we're given it flipways. Now if we're cutting in the middle, meaning that this guy must come and be a solid line. By the look of things, over here, I think there's an omitted line. Yes, I believe so. So over here, there's supposed to be a solid line. And if it's a solid line, meaning that if we cut it open, then the solid line is going to start there, making this part there, and this will be one surface. So meaning indeed, this line wasn't supposed to be there, and this one is not going to be there. And again, over here, we're having a line there. Bear in mind, I took this from a student that has already worked on it, so they might have removed some of the part. Okay, now for that, it's done with. Now, for this section, which I'll show over here. Okay, now for this section, if you can notice, this edge is this edge here. This edge is also this edge there. Okay, now if we're splitting it open here, meaning that we are cutting this edge inside there, meaning that we're cutting over here. Okay, we're cutting it over there, meaning that this face now is going to be this guy. This circle must be a line type 1. Okay, if it's a line type 1, then that means that we're cutting it in the middle. If we're cutting it in the middle, automatically if it's line type 1, that becomes the hatch, and this becomes the hatch, like that. And of course, we also went to the circle, to the hole behind. Now, if we also went to the hole behind, also, so this hole must go on like this and like that. Oh, okay. It doesn't allow me to do that. Yes. And meaning that over there and over there, we're not going to have any line. Over here, we're not going to have any line. Now, that's that. We are done with this one. Okay. Now we can proceed to the next one. Randomly moving on to this one, which is like a cyclops. Excuse me. Which is like a pin. Okay. So over here, this was supposed to be a hidden detail. Okay. This was supposed to be hidden details because of the pin inside. Okay. Now focusing on the y-axis first. That's my take. Now focusing on the y-axis, we actually are removing the whole thing behind there, which is like a face thing. Now where we're gonna show it? We're gonna show it here. Now first thing first, we're gonna start by removing the circles. Okay. Now if we remove the circles, meaning that we're gonna split open the circle. Okay. I'm gonna split open the circle. Line type 1. Now notice that this circle is actually the circles in front, and we're not going to have those, and meaning that our hatch will go onto this point and this point. Okay, so that's where the hatch will go, and over there and over there and over there. Okay, now going to this one, we're chopping it in the middle. Okay, now if we're chopping it in the middle, giving us this to be a line type 1. Okay, now making the hatch to be over there and over there and the whole part. Okay, and like that, we're done with that one. Okay, now again to check what happened there. Okay, it's one of the same thing. And this one, we were chopping along this axis. If we're chopping along those axes, this was hidden detail first, then was later on changed to line type 1, and indeed correct like that. And for this axis, okay, that we can come and show, we cannot show this axis onto this drawing, must come and have a dead drawing for us to see this cartoon plane.